Yo, thank you for tuning in to another episode of a News You Can Use podcast. Today is December 27, 2020. I'm in Dallas, Texas, and I'm feeling awesome. This is Frenchaire, and a big ups to the Clubhouse app. I just networked with a lot of amazing people, just heard from a bunch of dope Black business owners, amazing artists, creators, and creatives. And y'all got to connect. Big ups to Castro for creating the Industry Connect Room. I just connected with the industry for sure. And so I got a lot of upcoming great interviews coming up and really excited about it. And so thank you for continuing to tap in to continue to tap into a News You Can Use podcast. Come on here. If you are a business owner, Black or brown, melanated, come on and be a guest business spotlight on the podcast. With your businesses, we are seeking advertising partners. So sponsors, show up. Let's go. Let's get it. Come on and sign up to be a sponsor so your businesses can be advertised on the podcast. Come on, let's get it. Peace and blessings. Jen is a 30-something urban professional residing in St. Louis, Missouri. She was inspired to start her podcast by the Mike Brown shooting and the George Floyd case. She is the host of Woke by Accident podcast. She enjoys volunteering and giving back to the community with local service organizations.
Check this out. Yo, them beats is poppin'. Check this out. St. Louis' very own hit record release. Love Songs. By JCD, rap artist. Yeah, he's fat. Check this out. From MIDT Records, B&B Productions. Pick it up at your local neighborhood store.
Welcome to another episode of a News You Can Use podcast. I am so grateful to be here another day, and I thank you for tuning in to another episode. My name is Frenchaire, and we have the pleasure of welcoming our business spotlight, Jen from Woke by Accident podcast. Welcome.
Well, thank you. Hey, guys.
You're welcome. Jen is a 30-something urban professional residing in St. Louis, Missouri. She was inspired to start her podcast by the Mike Brown shooting and the George Floyd case. She is the host of Woke by Accident podcast. She enjoys volunteering and giving back to the community with local service organizations. Jen, welcome to the show, and tell us about who you are, where you're from, where you live. Just give us some background history about yourself.
For sure. So I am born and raised in St. Louis all my life, actually, lived no other place. And after this summer hit, I got inspired to start a podcast. I actually saw a course offered on Instagram. Shout out to Carla Wilmaris and the Idea to Launch Academy. And I was a student there, and we had a self-paced podcast class, do your own podcast in 30 days type of thing. Mm-hmm. And it was really great and phenomenal. Again, that was Carla Wilmaris and the Idea to Launch Academy. And so and that was right in May when the George Floyd situation had happened. And it was just inspired by that. And then those feelings that we had inside about Mike Brown all those years ago, just resurfaced. And it's like, okay, this is an outlet to share. And so it just worked out. So definitely.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And so that's beautiful. And I'm glad to see you move to action. And that's what we need is more action. And so tell us more about the Woke by Accident podcast.
Right. And so it's really kind of funny being a part of this online class that learn how to be a podcaster type of class. And at that time, I just kind of got in at the tail end of whatever special was being offered. And so we have this big Zoom with all these people going around, and we're going around in a circle of, okay, what do you want your podcast to be about? And, oh, my podcast is going to be about this. And then they come to me, and I'm like the only one that had this type of idea. So it was kind of cool. And then I'm just, saying that, oh, talking about Mike Brown and how that was basically like in my backyard where I live in St. Louis. Ferguson is nowhere. Went to that Quit Trip all the time on the way to church. I mean, it's like literally in my backyard, from St. Louis.
Yeah.
And those feelings and just, just having an outlet for that. And so I just said, I'm not really, trying to be this woke person. It's like woke by accident. And it just literally came out in that meeting. And everybody's like, that's it. Woke by accident. And so I was like, oh, wow, that's a good idea. Exactly. So just being more aware, I always watch the news. I, studied journalism in college, always had an interest in this type of medium. So it's just really kind of all coming back, and the perfect outlet to share and inform others, what we can do from being at home. So
I love that. Are you taking guests? Are you just doing you solo doloing? And how are you doing the setup?
So initially solo. I did take on a guest, one of our fellow students that has a podcast joined me. It was my first guest a couple of weeks ago. Cameron from Millennial Relationships Unlocked. And it's like a whole different type of podcast that, these other types of people all over the United States have their own little individual podcasts. And we're like a little network, and we try to like support each other, shout each other out on Instagram, follow each other. So it was really kind of cool. Not only did we get this training from Carla Ramirez, who's very knowledgeable, just all the people in the class who set up their own podcast and just took off with it. They have their own Patreon, and, I'm small potatoes still, but it's just like a great learning experience. And networking is everything, of course. So
it is. I love, I'm a fan of networking, and which is how I met you. We met through social media, and we were both in St. Louis, and I'd always see you. I probably saw you at events and just didn't know you because we were running in similar circles. Yeah. So that was really cool, and that is really awesome to have a network that you coming in with a support network for your podcast, because it's like I had no support. I just came in, just started it, and went just by scratch. So I think that's really awesome to have that support group behind you. Tell us how it is that, because I know you are very active in social activities, and so how do you balance yourself or keep balance within all the things that you have going on?
Well, so it's a balance, because before, when the world was open, it's like I always had a meeting to go to. I am involved in a lot of organizations, and it's a balance. I have a husband, and he's, oh, you always got a meeting to go to, and that kind of thing. But it's worth it, and I make it work. And even after the world has been closed, I still have my Zooms, and we have volunteer projects. Even now, we just suit up and we go out there in the community and do what we got to do. So I make it work.
I love that. So I have this interview series called Black Influencers Values, and the goal is, when I started it or wrote it, was to get into leaders' heads, see what they're inspired by, what are their motivations. So, Jen, the first question is describe yourself in 3 words.
I would say I'm very loyal and hard worker and caring.
Yes. What was that fleeting moment in your life that catapulted you to your present self, but certainly could have really gone the other way?
Hmm. Probably several jobs ago, being fired, and it's like you feel like it's the end of the world and that kind of those types of feelings. Um, God, that was several moons ago, but it's like you looking back, you're so devastated. Oh, you made a mistake, and and so that particular instance probably would be that moment. But of course, it's a learning experience, and you move on, and it's like not even a factor in my mind anymore. But just looking back, it's like the end of the world. But you know, you learn, you grow.
Yes,
So
that's right.
yeah.
What are your morning and nightly rituals?
Oh wow. So now it's like all about work. I got the blessed enough to work to be able to work from home.
Oh, good.
So just getting the dog together would probably be my morning ritual, and then hopping on, getting work going, and just relaxing with some wine in the evening. So catching up on social media. So
Who
next
should I interview next?
things not going crazy. Okay.
Who should I interview next?
Oh, repeat that again for me.
Who should I interview next?
Oh, I thought it was more to that. So, I mean, just as far as business owners or just people who,
Yes, business owners are, yes, mainly.
yeah. So I know so many people that have unique businesses that recently started, even in this pandemic. People are just stepping out on faith and going for it. One of our Mason brothers just started a smoothie shop in O'Fallon, Missouri here that specializes in natural ingredients and has sea moss and all these cool healthy options and fish tacos and all this kind of thing. So I mean, that's just really recently opened business called Creation. So that would be dope. And oh my gosh, so many ladies in my sorority and Eastern Star group that are business owners. I could send you a list.
Okay, I
I
would
really
love
could. Yeah,
that.
totally.
Yeah, that would be great. And if you connect me with them, that would be even better.
For sure.
Okay. Who is your target audience and your self-proclaimed niche, talents, and our gifts?
So my audience, and that's part of what we learned in podcast school, if you will, is having your target audience. I would say other urban professionals that are 20, 30 something. I'm actually stepping into the later part of that range, but I still would say I'm relatable to 20, 30 something professionals who are figuring it out and just impacted by all of the things going on in the world. So definitely a specialized group, I would say.
Yes. And then what would you say is your self-proclaimed niche, talents, and our gifts?
Oh, wow. So I feel like I'm relatable, and I feel like that's a gift. And just using my content to inspire others and just creativity. I also like have a desire to do some crafty type of things and just haven't had the time to delve into that. I want to do t-shirts. I want to do a whole lot of things. I want to do another podcast. The inspiration and creativity is bubbling. So
Nice.
yeah.
That's exciting. I was taking before my nap, I took a painting class with the library. So through
cool.
Zoom. That was very cool. We painted a 70s scene.
Yeah.
So that was pretty fun.
That's cool.
What did the young you envision, see, think, or was told to make you impact people the way you do?
Oh wow. I still consider myself young. Like,
of course you do.
Like what? What is this thing? So wow. I guess being, responsible and just very, I'm kind of a quiet type of person anyway. And I just, as I have gained a little more wisdom over the years, a little more open um, to try new things. So, that kind of thing, being a little more open to try more things. And the old me would have been less apt to try new things. So
nice. This one's one of my favorite questions, Jen. What is your favorite book, song, and quote, and why?
Okay. So it was this book I read called, what was the name? That big cookie on the front of it. Or was it a cupcake? Something about a cupcake. The lady's name was Cupcake Brown.
Nice.
And I think back when the world was open, I just went into the bookstore and just saw oh, this book looks interesting. And you just pick it up and you look at it. I'm looking it up because it's going to drive me crazy now. It sure was. So, A Piece of Cake by Cupcake Brown. And it was actually nonfiction, a memoir, because I usually just all about fiction because I was a big reader coming along in school. But this was a memoir, and this lady had been on the streets and was a prostitute and all this stuff. And then she's turned her life around and went and became a lawyer, got her law degree, and just overcame all these obstacles and odds. And it was just so inspiring.
Wow.
I read that in my 20s, and that was just really a good, inspiring piece. And song, this is gonna age me, so I hate to even bring it up. It's like one of my favorite karaoke songs.
Okay.
Not that I can sing because I cannot. Is Karen White, Superwoman.
Oh my God, that's the jam.
Yeah, so that's I don't know why that made me think of that with being the strong woman. That's one of the go-to karaoke joints. What was the other?
And your favorite quote?
Oh yeah. So I would say that, and this is from, if I'm not mistaken, because I think I put this on my Facebook page, that service is the rent we pay here. And Muhammad Ali said that. Something like service is our rent that we pay to live here on earth. And that's totally me because I'm all about service and giving back. And I feel like I'm compelled and it's a calling almost to do so. So I just really resonate with that quote.
Shay. That's a good one. Name 2 things you want to tell the world.
So I would say, like, and this is gonna sound cheesy, but I'm a voice in this world. You know, I don't have a whole lot of listens or downloads on my podcast, but it's okay. You know, I connect and resonate with a few, and I'm fine with that. You know, the few comment and feedback I receive, you know, lets me know that I'm a voice in this world. Like, you know, in the movie Whoopi Goldberg, you are a voice. No, it was an episode of a different world. You are a voice in this world, and you know, you matter. So I feel like that, and I'm okay if I don't have thousands of downloads and things like that. My voice matters. My opinion matters. So I'm good with that.
Yes. Is there anything else?
Oh, no, I didn't know if there was a second part to that, or did I miss?
No. I was thinking that was one thing, but I said name 2 things. But if that was it, then that's it.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. All right. Are you a saver or a shopper? And then secondly, what is your financial strategies?
Oh Lord. So I am a shopper, like online, Amazon. I need to go to the therapy clinic for Amazon and Poshmark. Oh Lord, don't get me started. But you know, I'm doing better about savings and you know investing, and I tune in to a really dope podcast called Earn Your Leisure, and those brothers talk about how you can save and just you know try to be inspired by that type of thinking. So
Yes.
yeah.
I'm writing that down. Earn Your Leisure, because
Oh
I'm
my God,
definitely a shopper.
they're so dope. And their YouTube page, I mean their Instagram page, their YouTube page. Yeah, they're awesome. I'm not even getting no love for these shout outs I'm giving, but that's okay. That's all right. It's so many content creators. I'm glad to be amongst them on this very small scale, but
For real talk. Yeah, I agree with that. Does your key values and life missions, Jen, speak first to your race and then the world, vice versa, or that is not a thought of yours as you live day to day?
so give me the first part again.
Okay.
About the race.
You're fine. Does your key values and life mission speak first to your race and then the world, vice versa, or that is not a thought of yours as you live day to day?
I try to not let race be a thought in my mind, and I try to go and live life like as though I'm just as good as anyone else. And when people bring it up, I try to like like it doesn't bother me and that kind of thing. Like when Barack became president, you know, some people just couldn't believe it and cried their face off, and I've had hope that we could do something like that, so I was excited and ecstatic. But I feel like we're that great. You know, Kamala coming in as the first African American vice president, I feel like we're that great that we can do these kind of things. So I'm not shocked. I mean, it's a great moment and I'm excited, but I feel like we're just that great. So I try not to let race be, you know, a factor because I feel like we're just that great.
I love that.
Yeah.
When you have something that's super important to you, what do you tell yourself to get pumped?
Wow. So I just try to be all in and all hands on deck with it. If I am giving my time to something, if I dedicating myself to a task or a project, just try to commit. So
Name 5 people that you know that embody instrumental traits children should emulate.
like
And then you don't have to know them
celebrities?
personally.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
that
Anybody.
children should emulate.
Yes.
So well, I would say definitely like Kamala Harris would be a great role model for children. I mean, how many times is she telling us that little girls can find inspiration in her path? And that one Congresswoman, Ayanna Presley, she's amazing and recently shared her story of like losing her hair to alopecia. And she had talked about that on her Instagram page recently. So that's another good role model for our young girls. And goodness, political people, so many people out here. Kamala Harris, that just really resonates with me. So
Yes.
I don't know if I have five, but I want to say Beyonce, but it's like,
Yeah.
there's so many people doing a great job. Beyonce's really good, even though she's really, popular. She finds a way to promote Black culture. And like recently, she was on the cover of some foreign or Italian Vogue, and she made sure it was an African American photographer that took those pictures, had her daughter right there to, experience all of that and made sure all of that was captured. So like everything she does is so intentional and it's really cool. So I would say Beyonce for those reasons, not because she's beautiful and all of that, but because she cares about the impact of exposure to young girls. And I think that's cool. So yeah. So I definitely would say Beyonce for that reason. The whole HBCU concept with the last project was really inspiring. And that probably made a lot of kids want to go to a HBCU just because she, put it on blast like that in a great way. So
I have to check that one out. Did you know the name of it, or I just need to Google?
So she had the Netflix special. It was called Homecoming. You've probably seen like the internet clips or Instagram clips. And so they turned it into a movie on Netflix called Homecoming, and it basically captured her last tour before everything went down with COVID. And so a lot of people like went to see that tour and saw all those songs and the whole theme, like the Black marching band theme. And she just had like this whole, she even in the Netflix movie, the like fraternity hazing scene, just everything about Black college experience she captured for someone who didn't go to college. Is kind of cool. But a lot of people like in her band, her dancers were alumni of HBCU. So it's like, and she intentionally made sure that happened. So that was kind of dope too. Like that's what I say, everything she does is intentional with a greater purpose. So Beyonce's great.
Yes, she is.
So
super talented.
She is.
Okay, so then name 5 people that you know that are powerhouses in their industries.
So and I'm thinking of the podcasting content creator space, I would say our podcast coach, Carla Ramirez, is a great resource. I follow a podcast called Horrible Decisions, which maybe Be, and she's a great resource. One cool thing about her is that even though her podcast is very racy, if you will, they talk about sex and being free and all of this, she is an entrepreneur to the nth power. She has 3 different podcasts that she's aligned herself with. She started her own businesses and connects with other people. She partners with other content creators. She has, like, you wouldn't think that a show about sex would have anything to do with politics or finances, but she had the guys from Earn Your Leisure on talking about what they do. So just giving other people shine, and having like a girl Zoom and just let people give their feedback about women issues. So, I mean, she's just really dope. And it's kind of cool to follow some people like that actually like reach back to their followers and, the whole content community. So
Yes.
those are two. Demetria Lucas is another podcast. She's been on like reality TV and wrote books, but she's a good one I follow, and this has a really unique voice about politics and being single and overcoming divorce and obstacles and figuring it all out. So there's a lot of great content creators.
Yes.
So I think that's 3.
That's 3. Yes. Jen, tell us what your website is and your business name.
So it's a podcast right now. I have a site, but I need to work on it more. So I would just share the Instagram, which is Instagram.com/woke by accident podcast. And I also have a Twitter, which the handle is woke by on Twitter. But a good place to find my link for the web podcast is the Instagram, and I have my link tree there. We're on Apple and Spotify and iHeartRadio, YouTube. I don't have video, but I'm on YouTube and your favorite mediums for podcasts.
Awesome. We thank you so much for coming on the show today. It was definitely a pleasure.
Oh, for sure. My pleasure.
Now, is there anything else that you want to share with us? Any kind of upcoming projects that you want to share with the audience, or anything else that you just want to, get off your chest?
Just would invite everyone to check me out. They're pretty short right now, but I have a unique voice, I think, that worth listening to. So on your favorite podcast medium, Woke by Accident Podcast, I'm out there. So look me up, check it out.
That's right. Tune in to the Woke by Accident podcast, wherever you're listening to your podcast. And we do thank you for tuning in to another episode of a News You Can Use podcast. And until next time, we say peace.
That was good.
St. Louis dropping, popping.
Black bodies on the line. Let the creator elevate your mind.
New hits like this.
Like 3, you're out, no mistake. That's the way the pitch break. My old man, sleeping in his
The Redemption Song by Be And Us.
sometimes grumbling and complaining, but always keeping on. A garden of fragrant flowers. Then you, woman, child,
Last poet, you know it.
flowering garden of my heart, and my heart opened to you.
Pick it up at your local neighborhood stores.
Flowing out.
Homecoming live bonus track. Beyonce.
You can bet. It's
as I say it's champagne. I did the damn thing. You did Diana, singing and dancing all in the rain. Ooh, I just wanna have a good time. Turn around, kick them slide. Swirl yourself to the right. Ooh, funny hop, drop. Cross your legs, turn around and clap. Shuffle to the left, let's slide now. Ooh, drop it down low, low to the floor. Bring it up, tap and roll. Step on them, step on them, kick on them, something you step. Swag the right, serve the left, work the middle till it hurt a little.
Free your mind while it's time.
What's up with that?
I got one thing on my mind. Revolution.
Yo, that's Pharaoh Chiboba.
Please make me die 1,000 deaths in a day, and then I won't jump in the front while you
Put it down for the new time.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace. Shalom, shalom. Hotel.
Yeah, MIDT Records.
Hey, chop.
B&B Production.
Penis hospital.
Rhythmic Sound.
Love to rap.
Yo, check it out. At all your local neighborhood stores.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of A News You Can Use podcast. Make sure you're downloading the past episodes. Follow us on Spotify. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts so that you may be notified for the next episode. While you're on Apple Podcasts, go ahead and leave us a review and rating so that other like-minded people will discover the podcast like yourself. Share the podcast with your friends and family. Download the free Anchor app to leave us a message that we may play on future episodes. Melanated business owners, become a business spotlight promoting your businesses. Musicians, send in your music to play on the podcast. Shop with Be And Us LLC. The link is inside of the show notes. Shop with us also on Teespring. The link is in the bio, in the show notes. Buy the Amazon book by Frenchaire Gardner, Mommy and Daddy, Do You Still Love Me Anymore? The link is in the show notes. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Be And Us LLC. You may email us at anewsyoucanuse@gmail.com, sending us any suggestions, feedback, concerns, and musicians. You can email us your MP4 files to play your music on the episodes. Thank you so much. Karen White, Superwoman.
At your table, make sure that your coffee has its sugar and cream. Your eggs are over easy, your toast unlikely. All that's missing